Hello everybody, it's RP Brothers again today. Figured I'd do a video today on Golden Sun, because I figured, well, this is an RPG that it's been like 9 years now since we've seen anything out of that. Golden Sun 4 would be pretty cool to see if we get that. That'd be nice to know. If we're ever going to get Golden Sun, 4, that'd be pretty cool. Among other RPGs that we're going to have to get sequels to. I think Golden Sun 4 would be good. Another game I'd like to see is a Chrono Cross remake, and of course a Lunar 3 sequel to Lunar 2, Eternal Blue. That'd be interesting to see something like that. But, let me see here. That's another game. I guess, we'll look up Lunar 3 sequel, because I really think that this would be a good idea to have a game like this. Yeah, like these games, this definitely needs a sequel to it. I'd love to see, a Lunar sequel. Hopefully one day this happens, but you never know. You never know with all these RPGs. A lot of RPGs I'd love to see sequels to. It's hard to believe, it's been years since any of these have gotten like attention. Like if I were to go and look up like other ones like Shining Force, it'd be cool to see like a new Shining Force game. That's another game that'd be pretty cool. I mean, some of these games are just so out of date at this point that they just need like reboots and all that other stuff probably. And like you can tell the cover art, all that stuff. And you have Shining Force and all that stuff like that. It's really different in that sense. Yeah, it makes me a little sentimental thinking about these games, but the reality of it is that's what happens. Sometimes franchises get forgotten. But, yeah, as far as those games go, an actual Breath of Fire 6 would actually be nice. That's another game. It's like this mobile game they have, this isn't what I'd want. I want an actual Breath of Fire 6. Like a legit Breath of Fire 6. But you see, like, this is what the problem is. Like, this isn't Breath of Fire 6. When I'm thinking of Breath of Fire 6, I'm thinking of an actual Breath of Fire 6. I'm not thinking of a game like this. Or like a Breath of Fire 4 sequel. Which, signed petition, Breath of Fire 4 remake PS4. But like, so there's a petition for it. You can sign that petition for Breath of Fire 4 remake on PS4, which would probably be the best thing they could do for right now. That does need to be remade. That game has been pretty forgotten as well. But a lot of these games, like I've mentioned earlier, are very forgotten stuff. Like you look at like any of the old time RPGs, games like that, and like all that stuff. Like, when's the last time they've done like any actual like really good classic RPG reboots or remakes that are actually worth doing? Like, I know these people are, oh, Final Fantasy 7, oh, Final Fantasy 8. Yeah, those are good and all. What's gonna be next? Final Fantasy 9 remake? I mean, seriously, like, is that what they're gonna do? The next one's gonna be like this? If they decide to do that, that'd be kind of neat. I guess that would probably end up being the next one. If they are deciding to remake it, that is. Final Fantasy 9 was a somewhat different game. That's what kind of made it interesting, was it was a very different game. It had more of a different appeal to it, different feel, different playing, different kind of play playing field to it. It was almost like, it wasn't even like a Final Fantasy game in that sense, but it's very different. It just, the game itself played very differently. And that's what made it very interesting in that sense. But you look at like all these Final Fantasy games that are being remade. Well, what about Legend of Dragoon? That's another one we should look up. Now that'd be a cool remake to see, if they're gonna do that. That is. You know, maybe they will one day. Who knows? It'd be interesting to see that happen, but it definitely would be different. I remember playing this game. This game was a pretty awesome game back in the day. It was a different game. You know, I never really actually got very far in it. But I know like how the game kind of played, the concept of it and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much forgotten stuff here. And definitely refurbishing it and going back to this. Now this is really cool that they're going back to Streets of Rage. I couldn't be more happy that they're doing stuff like this. Streets of Rage 4, that's a game we need to see. Now that is a game, I'm going to tell you what right now. For beat 'em ups, that's a perfect game to have rebooted and remade again. You know, with, you know, going back to the roots and stuff. It's interesting they did the Link's Awakening remake. I mean, it's like some of these games are really coming off as really good. And I think that, yeah, like here, 10 RPGs from the 90s that still need remastered, you know. It's interesting when you think about it. I just figured, you know, hey, I'm going to throw this out there, and you know what? Maybe one day we will see some you know, love to some of this old stuff, because I'll tell you what, it kind of needs it. So yeah. Well, until next time, RP Brothers out.